Every time you're in front of your congregation, you have an awesome responsibility. His word, your delivery. Your efforts preparing and delivering are multiplied every time you're in front of an audience. It's not just the people who you're in front of, but it's every service. And it's also the people that they influence, their brothers, their sisters, their mothers, even non-believers. Just because you gave a sermon and they listened does not mean you were heard.
Are you a pastor, or do you know a pastor that gives good sermons and people like them? What if with a few small adjustments, the message could be even more compelling? It's God's word, but it's your delivery. With a few small adjustments, knowing and understanding how to be more compelling, how to tell better stories, how to actually use the stage to clarify your message, rather than diluting the power of your message. This can be done quickly and easily if you know what to do. Hi, I'm Darren LaCroix. My passion is to help pastors be a better pastor faster. I love what I do and what I teach. And what I teach in the secular world, I'm now bringing to the world of ministry. I want to help you tell God's message in a much more compelling way. Why does it matter? Why does the delivery matter when it's God's message? There's some people who will never ever get the message. We know that. There's some people who will get the message no matter what. But it's for the people in the middle that if you were more compelling, if you knew how to tell better stories, how to create lines that are more lasting that the audience walks away with, that makes a huge difference. Think about this. Every single time you're on stage, you have this opportunity to make an impact. Well, if you understood speaking, presenting the way I teach it, you would be more compelling every single time you're on stage. And that sets the trajectory of your whole church, your whole year, the offerings that you get, the message that you plant in people's minds. I love what I do. I want to share that with you. So I was attending this new church I went to, and the pastor found out that I coach presenters, and he was already really good, but he asked me if I would coach him. And I thought, how do you say no to God?
When I met Darren LaCroix, I had been a pastor for about 14 years, had been speaking every Sunday for about 12 years. I had started and grown a church, I started a second church. I had been asked to speak at a bunch of conferences, like main stages and stuff. I'd written some books, and I knew I still had some growing to do as a speaker, but I thought I knew what there was to know. And then I met Darren. I found out this guy, Darren, who was going to our church, had won some big international speaking contest and was a professional trainer of professional speakers, like a professional speaking coach. And so I asked Darren to coach me. It also was cool because Darren, in our church and through our relationship and getting into one of my men's groups, he really started to grow in his faith. He ended up really giving his life to Jesus, getting baptized, and just growing his heart for Jesus, for the church, for pastors. And so I started attending Darren's boot camps and taking his courses. In fact, they were so good, I started sending my staff because they get up on stage, they offer classes, they teach kids class, whatever. And I was like, you need this. And so they started going, and man, what we learned is that we didn't even know what we didn't know. Like Darren taught me stuff I had never learned in seminary, in a book, at any kind of other pastor conference, things about structuring your talk, about how to make it more memorable, how to use the stage, how to tell better stories, mostly stuff I'd never heard or thought of. And my speaking just grew exponentially, and so did the other people on our staff. It was awesome. In fact, we were doing a conference for pastors every year, and we had Darren speak, do one of his sessions for us, and Darren's session was the highest rated session we ever had at our conference. All the pastors just raved about it, continue to talk about Darren, ask about Darren, talk about the lessons they learned from him.
So Vince, the other pastors, as well as a lot of the staff, have been to a lot of my boot camps, and I loved having them there and helping them with that message.
I can't encourage you highly enough to check out Darren, check out his boot camps, check out the courses he offers. We know this, but man, our speaking, our sermons, they're like just so critical that if we can become better speakers, more people come to faith, people grow in faith, our churches grow, our offerings grow, all the good stuff. And so it's critical, and we just don't spend enough time trying to figure out how can I improve my speaking. But Darren can help you with that like he's helped me. And so, man, check out the university he offers, all the courses online. Get yourself to a boot camp. You'll probably see me there. Such good stuff, and I can't highly recommend Darren enough to you.
Why would I do this? Well, when I started my career in the mid-90s, I was living at home with my parents. I had business debt, I had college debt, and it just wasn't going anywhere fast. So I decided to make a deal with God. I said, not that he made a deal with me, but I said, look, if you help me now with my marketing and I get to do this for a living, that someday later in my career, you can use me any way you want. And I feel like that time is now. So I started tithing. And when I get $50, I would give $5 to the church. And when I would get $100, and then when I get $1,000, I would always start giving that 10%, and I have ever since. And now I get to do this for a living. And I feel like it's the time now for what I teach in the secular world to bring it to the world of ministry. I love what I do, and I want to help you become a better pastor faster. Pastors, staff, come to my trainings in Las Vegas, but you can learn online or bring me to a conference. I will show you quickly and easily how to tell better stories, how to create lines that are more memorable, and how to use the stage. You'll learn things that you never learned in seminary, but I'll show you the best of what I have in the time that you give me. And what if you were funnier? What if you had humor in your sermons and in your staff's training? Well, what difference does it make? It's the message. Yes, but it's humans you're speaking to. People love humor. In fact, humor makes a message more memorable. One of my mentors taught me that after the laughter is the height of listening. That's when you can slide your message in if you have them laughing. But you aren't funny. You're not funny. You have no funny bone. Well, guess what? I bombed miserably at a comedy club in 1992. It was horrible. But fast forward 9 years. In 2001, I outspoke 25,000 contestants from 14 countries to become the world champion of public speaking with a very funny speech. I'm living proof that humor can be learned. And now I teach people, pastors, presenters from around the world, how to be better on stage, how to be more compelling, how to tell better stories, and how to use the stage strategically to clarify your message rather than dilute your message. So whether it's online programs, a live event, or bring me to the pastors in your area, I will help you become a better pastor faster.